We're going to start this one off with a few quick disclaimers. You are about to sit through a few minutes of relationship thoughts and observations from someone that hasn't dated anyone in 5 to 6 years, hasn't been touched in 5 to 6 years. I'm so lonely. No, it's like in all actuality, I'm like the most peaceful I've ever been in my life. But the thing is, that doesn't neglect the fact that I'm still a lover at heart. You know, one of the things that I observe is just I see people playing with each other's emotions. You know what I'm saying? You know, speaking from experience, like we'll start at the very beginnings of this. You know, the dating app life, right? When I was on the dating app, once again, I couldn't turn off my hyper analytical side of my brain. You know, one of the things that used to annoy me the most is that it was a lot of false advertisement. I'm not even talking about catfishing. You know, from my perspective as a man, ladies, right? Some of y'all will be so quick to say, I'm not here for hookups. But then all of your pictures are you in lingerie, titties squeezed up, you sitting on the sink, the thirst trap pictures, but you don't want to be looked at as a sexual object, if you will, but yet you went ahead and sexualized yourself, knowing that us men are very geared to looking at your private parts. But don't call me a hoe. I'm not here for hookups. You're an asshole if you think that's what I'm here for. But you said no hookups, but you put all the things that would make me think that you're here for a hookup in your picture. Why didn't you just say what you wanted? That's just me. Once again, I told you I'm like a cyborg when it comes to this type of stuff. I'm zeros and ones when it comes to relationships nowadays. You know? But then on the flip side, you know, like the girls go try to pretend to be all like freaky deaky and all that type of stuff because that's what guys like and blah blah blah. That's how I get your attention. But you make yourself you put yourself out there, but then you, in all actuality, you just want to be a good girlfriend and a wife. And once again, I find that weird. Why didn't you present yourself as such? Why didn't you point out the things that men like in wives for us to make that decision? Oh, wait, because y'all are playing the game, the dating app game as it's meant to be played, as the hookups, not for actual, genuine connections between people. Okay, I guess that's just the way this game is played. That's my fault, I guess. But that's just where a lot of my observations stem, because relationships in real life have been mixed and merged with the dating app logic. You know? How do you decide you want to hang out with someone based off of 5-6 pictures? 5 or 6 pictures that show the person in their greatest form, their highest highs, you know, in front of cars that they don't own, in front of houses that they don't own. People be taking these pictures. I saw it. There was a nice little sports car in the parking lot, and I saw multiple people taking pictures in front of it as if it was theirs. Why is it that on both sides of the aisle, male and female, we are expecting authenticity and honesty from the other side, but we are portraying a bunch of lies on our profiles? Your profile is supposed to be you're putting your best foot forward, but yet your best foot forward is already a handful of lies and half-truths. How do you expect anything healthy to stem from that? How do you expect, a healthy head of lettuce or a healthy ear of corn to grow out of dirty soil? I don't understand that. That's weird to me. And I be seeing people out here doing this like it's normal, but then when they get into actual relationships with the individuals that they get swindled into being with, you're not who you said you were. Or the other side is you hope that you can ignore enough of the red flags until you realize, goddamn, the whole floor is painted with red flags and you're trying to make it work. You're trying to shove your foot into a shoe that's too small. You're falling in love with somebody's potential because they check off a couple of boxes on the physical realm. What about the mental realm? What about the spiritual realm? You see what I'm saying? I've been on a handful of dates with some very, very, oh my God, some pretty women that I still have mental images of in my head to this day. But then when I was on this date with them, it just felt like my intellect was being sapped. As much as I tried to lead the conversation to a higher vibrational state, and I'm not even talking about, we got to talk about crystals and manifestation. Just tell me that your brain works, because I'm borderline sapiosexual. Yes, looks get you through the door. But show me something deeper about yourself. Stop being so scared to reveal, to peel back some of those layers. You know what I'm saying? For me, I go from 100 to 0. When I meet you, I do put my best foot forward because that's how I walk around every single day. I'm real with it. So real recognize real, and a lot of you ladies I've sat across that table from were looking mighty unfamiliar. You know what I'm saying? But the same can be said about us men. A lot of men be out here be like, I'm an alpha male, women's supposed to submit to me, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Fellas, you get mad at women when they only want your money. Women are hypergamous and blah, 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 blah. So all of you men are coming to the same conclusion, but yet you think you're ready for a woman when you have no money in your pocket. See, yes, I get it. We get mad that women don't give us attention because we're not making a shit ton of money. But if you have to split the first bill on the date, my guy, maybe you should not be dating. You ever thought about that? Maybe you should not be dating if you can't afford how much a date typically costs. If you are not willing to part with, and I'm highballing it on purpose, but if you are not willing to, or highballing / lowballing, depending on what tier of dating you're in, but nevertheless, if you're not willing to part with $100 for that evening, just stay your ass at home, do some push-ups, make yourself better, increase your income stream. Then when you have a little bit more money to, to indulge in more fun things, more leisurely types of things, then go out here in the dating world so you don't look stupid when you have to split the bill, or you try to like flip it on the woman for getting mad at you when you invited her out on the date, but you're not going to even pay. It makes you look weird, and I'm sorry, as a man, I do believe that I'm supposed to pay for the first date. I have no problem doing that. I have zero problem doing that, Once again, we have all these parameters that society has placed upon us. Once again, the dating app culture has infected real world experiences, if you will, for lack of a better word. It's like we look at people and everything has become so superficial. Everything has become so in this. But then when we bring up the idea of marriage, us young people especially those of you in the casual dating world, you'd be like, marriage, ugh. Now don't get me wrong, some people just ain't ready for marriage. You're having fun and you're perfectly content where you are. That's perfectly fine. But I have to help, cultivate the minds of young men that are watching all this red pill stuff, because a lot of these red pill channels will make you pickup artists. They don't teach you to connect with a woman's mind. They teach you how to use a woman's mind. Walk through it just so you can get into her pants. That's what a lot of these red pill channels do. These women aren't going to respect you anyway, and the second they find a better option, they're going to leave. Well, how about you, sir, become the greatest option that she can get? And then everything becomes your decision. Do I want this relationship to continue? Yes or no? I mean, both sides always have that power to say, does this relationship work for me? I'm just saying, number one, for ladies and gentlemen, stop falling in love with potential. Stop falling in love with looks. Stop thinking that you can change people. Also, this is one thing that I had to learn. Stop looking for yourself in your partner. That makes no sense. You can only be you. They can only be them. Stop looking for yourself in another partner. Well, if she don't do this, if she don't do that, if she don't do this, she ain't worth my time. If he don't do this, that did it. Okay, ladies, well, I'll jump back to men in a second, but ladies, if your man took more time in the mirror than you will look at us a little bit funny. If your man came up to you and was asking, hey, yo, babe, hey, this made my ass look big, you'll be like, why are you asking me that? What the fuck does it matter? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. If something broke and your man couldn't fix a damn thing, or didn't at least very much give an honest effort to figure out how to do something, you'll look at him like, what are you here for? If a man were to, if you were to be confronted with someone and a new suspect man were to come up to you and be talking crazy to you, maybe even put his hands on you, and your man hid behind you, you'd be looking at him crazy because he's exhibiting a bunch of feminine traits. If you as a woman get into an argument with your man, which is 100% unavoidable in relationships, arguments are supposed to happen at some point because you're two different people with two different mindsets, and y'all have hit a topic that y'all haven't communicated enough on. But like, if you're having an argument and your man starts yelling at you, he's now entered his own feminine, and that's two feminine energies going at it. I mean, which one do you have more respect for, ladies? The man that sat here and yelled back at you and started breaking things and all that type of stuff? Hell, that probably might even scare some of y'all. You know, that, or a man that you're arguing, but he can just keep himself calm and composed and just handle your questions with, you know, adult maturity. Y'all don't know why you... Okay, well, I see your point. You're upset at me because I said this and that, or I didn't do, or I did do this and that. I get you. So what is it that you want me to do? I don't know. Wait, so you're yelling at me, you're still screaming, and I'm talking like this. I'm trying to figure out this problem, but you keep screaming at me for no reason. Like, figure it out. Stop yelling at me and let's figure out the... You see, which one's different there? You see, that's when it exposes some of y'all's bad behaviors. Y'all react off of the emotion without using any of the logic, whereas we as men, we use too much logic sometimes. When things make too much sense in a YouTube video, when things make too much sense when we saw that on a post somewhere, we'd be like, huh. But we are not taking into account that 100% logic means 0% emotion. So when we bring this hyper-logical mindset to a woman's world, it makes no sense. And that's where that natural conflict is going to occur. But gentlemen, let me ask you a question. You know, that's not the way that things are supposed to go, so your hypotheticals are stupid. I'm just saying, in a hypothetical world then, if a woman came up to you and said, you have to submit to me. If a woman said, you need to have all these criteria before I give myself to you, then what? You'll look at these women like they're crazy. What do you mean? This is my world. I'm an alpha male. I decide who stays or goes. And I just be sitting here and you expect to have a healthy, soft, you know, emotional connection, spiritual connection with this woman, but yet if a woman tries to impose some of her own, like, you know, her own interests into the relationship, you bug the fuck out. You're so quick to tell these women that they're so easily replaceable, but yet you're wondering why you're 30, 40, 50 years old as a man and you're still single. You're not married. You know, that's the funniest thing I always see. This is like something I got from Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. Even though I didn't agree with everything that you said, you did have some points. You know, one of Kevin Samuels' biggest things was he always asked women, especially when they were in their 30s, why aren't they married? All this type of stuff. But gentlemen, like, why don't we ask that question to ourselves? Why aren't you married? Why aren't you starting your own branch of the family tree? Why aren't you prepared to take care of children? Why are you not prepared and hustling right now to get married and provide a life for your wife, for your children, and all that type of stuff? Hell, some of y'all think you're deserving of being in polygamy, but yet you ain't got it right now. So what makes you think you're gonna have it in the future? Now, don't let me limit you. Some of you are on the path to being prepared for that lifestyle. Congratulations to you. I'm just talking about you dudes that sit here and watch YouTube videos all day and you form your whole persona off of dudes you watch on the internet. Some of y'all message me with stuff all the time and I know exactly who you watched. You're not even your own man yet, but you think there's supposed to be women hanging off your arm. You still compete with other men. Yeah, but my shoes is better than his. Oh, I'm taller than him. I could fuck his bitch though. That just shows how insecure you are. Insecure. You're insecure because you have to use somebody else's stature to put yourself up. And you think you're deserving of a healthy relationship? You think women aren't going to be able to see through your bitch assedness? That brings me to my final point. Marriage. Is marriage scary? I will be the first one without any experience on the topic to say yes, marriage is indeed scary. You know, however, on the same tip, I don't believe, like I've said before, the government should have absolutely no say in what your marriage is. Why is it just because I love this woman, I love this man, our taxes are changed? Huh? So two people started fucking and they like each other enough, and somehow that equates to the government having their hand in our pocket. We have to have a marriage certificate. We have to have a piece of paper that says that we are indeed married and loyal to one another. What do you have anything to do with that? We found each other. We are happy. We are committing to one another. Why do we have to sign a piece of paper for you? I don't even know who you are. Hell, even the department doesn't even know which person is going to sign that piece of paper that says you are indeed married. What are you going to do? Say we're not? What's the point? It gives them control over your relationship. But anyway, you know, one of the things that keeps people away from marriage, though, is the idea that you can always do better. You know, you want the best, as you should. We should all be looking for the best, but a lot of people are missing that little caveat. You should be looking for the best for you. You know, a lot of people want husbands and wives that they can show off. Look at what my man got. Look at what, but look at my woman. Yeah, look at her, bro. Yeah, she a Victoria's Secret model, bro. Yo, she a IG model, bro. She got over 2 million followers, bro. And I don't want people knowing who my wife is. If I happen, let's just say though, hypothetically speaking, if I got to be with some famous woman, you know, some famous woman, like let's just say like highballing it, you know, I was trying to think of a celebrity, but I cannot think of any female celebrities right now. Insert female celebrity here, and we lock it in. I wouldn't want to be on the red carpet with her. I wouldn't want to be in like, you know, like just her little accompanying man with her. I'm always operating from the shadows. That's how I typically operate in my own personal life. Don't let the YouTube thing fool you. It's that I operate from the shadows. That's what I do. I don't like the attention on me like that unless I have a message for people. But if I'm not presenting a message, leave me out of it, you know? But then the same tip, you know, it's just like, if I were to be married, like there was a clip, who was it? I think it was a sports guy, and the paparazzi had the nerve. He's taking a picture with his wife and his children, and the paparazzi had the nerve to tell his wife to move. And he said, if you don't get your ass back here, I mean, obviously he said, no, come back. You're my wife. This is our family. This is a family picture. Come back. And she came right back. I will smack the camera out of that paparazzi's hand. You tell my woman to separate from me. Who are you giving orders to my woman? See, that's that level of respect that we have lost amongst men, amongst people. The fabric of our society has been torn and ripped apart and shredded so badly that we only look at each other for physical means. Men only look for women for sexual pleasure. You know, men will sell a woman a dream, and then when a baby is conceived, you know, whatever, like, hey, I'm pregnant. Oh, damn, that's crazy. You sure it's mine? Well, no shit, Sherlock. How is a baby formed? Pull-out game strong over here. Well, we'll see in 9 months how strong your pull-out game is. You know, it's like, and then people flip up or switch up when the baby gets involved. So you were in love, spending all this time, but then bada bing, bada boom. Ladies, you know, this one hits close to me. You know, some of y'all be settling for that bad boy persona, not realizing that he's a bad boy. He's going to do bad boy shit at some point, and y'all be thinking that you can switch men, you can change men. You think your pussy is so powerful. Don't get me wrong, it is. But some men are more stubborn than your pussy is powerful. I'm just trying to let you know. You know, stop falling for these bad boys. You know, I'm just trying to tell you, I am a self-proclaimed good guy. It's like, that's just what I'm here for. But if you want that energy, you go ahead and play. You know, I've seen so many people close to me that fell for the bad boy persona. I think I can change him. I can work with him. Oh, if he were to just do this. Oh, if he were just to see things the way I saw them. And you get with this bad boy and you think they're going to change. That's speaking from personal experience, some extra personal experience. I'm just not going to put people's business out there. You know, you got the bad boy and you thought you could change him. It didn't work. So now you 20 years down the line, you 10 years down the line, hell, you even 2 years down the line, and shit still ain't changed, and you still sitting there waiting for him to change. This shit's weird. Why is it that the dude that ain't been in a relationship, why is it that the dude that's not sitting out here playing with people's emotions can sit here and tell y'all this shit, and y'all the ones living it? I'm sitting down here watching y'all like, could you see that he's playing you? FedEx does not call at 2 o'clock in the morning. Pizza Hut does not call at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, the way that y'all be looking at it, men can't have female friends, right? So he's hanging out with that female friend multiple times at 10 o'clock at night. Fellas, dating apps are terrible. Women have control over everything. Well, yeah, they're the prettiest ones. They are the prize in the dating app world. But what happens when you actually nail one, or not nail one, when you actually hook one on your on the line? You know, went out there fishing, you hook one on the line. Okay, so you over here thinking that women are so this and so blah blah blah, so superficial. But what do you have that would make any woman appreciate you at that level? Nothing. So even if you are very powerful in the mental and spiritual as a man or a woman, let's just open this back up to everybody. You male, woman, you are powerful in the mental and spiritual, but your physical is nothing. And you get mad that we as men that are very physically driven, you get mad when we don't give you attention. Sorry. But then you as a man, you have nothing going for you. You have no car of your own, no house, no place of your own. You're always borrowing money. You're always borrowing stuff from your friends. You always having people pay for you. And you think a woman's going to find that to be attractive? No, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, we all need to grow. We all need to exit what's going on. Yes, of course, we need to have our own personal things that we're looking for satisfied, but we also need to learn this crazy C-letter word that only appears in mature relationships. I'm not sure if y'all heard about it, but it's called compromise. Now, yes, compromise can have a positive and negative connotation. If the mission has been compromised, that's usually a bad thing. But if you're compromising and you're finding a middle ground to where both of you are completely happy, but you say, okay, wait, you know what? I can do that. I can put that down. But if I'm going to do that, I need you to understand that I need you to do this. That's very fair. Okay, I can do that. Or let's just say you get to this conversation where your spouse, your partner, whatever, wants you to do something, but you're like, yo, no, it's something I cannot do. That goes against me in every regard. Okay, you as the person that proposed that, is that a deal breaker to you? Or with you knowing how strongly that is set in their mind, there's a plane taking off right now, but it was someone knowing that's how strong that is in their own minds, are you going to tear that away from them, or are you just going to accept that as long as it doesn't rear itself in a very toxic way? This plane is very annoying, and I'm 20 minutes in and I'm not starting over. But nevertheless, I truly do believe that marriage is a beautiful thing. You know, for me, I do yearn for marriage specifically. I've never cared about the casual dating scene. I don't care about mixing my sexual energy with some random woman that I'm not going to see again. I don't care. Why am I giving you my energy and then not seeing what that investment turned into? That's just how my brain works. I'm sorry. You know, I like the idea of coming back home. I don't care if I was at work or if I was just somewhere else and I just come back to my wife and my children. I think about that on a regular basis. That is what I'm manifesting into this world. I don't want hookups. I don't care. I don't care if you got the baddest, you got the baddest XYZ in the game. I don't care. Are you my wife? Then you can have the baddest XYZ from you're my wife, and you're going to fulfill me, and I'm going to fulfill you, and our relationship is mutually beneficial. You know what I'm saying? But then the other harsh truth about marriage is people don't want to realize it is indeed a business. It's a business decision the way that it's set up in our current society. You have to sign papers, taxes get involved, all that type of stuff. If we don't work, then you leave with half of my shit. That don't make no sense. Prenup. I don't care how in love I am with you. You're going to sign that piece of paper because I know what my future is going to hold. And you're not walking away with something that I invested in years before I even met you. That makes no sense. What, am I going to take care of you if we don't work out? Yes, of course. That's just me as a man. My past relationships, I still check in on them to make sure everything is good with them. I don't want nothing from them. It's just like, hey, you want someone to talk to that's going to give it to you real? Okay, so even if our relationship didn't work, I'm going to look after you. But that does not automatically entitle you to all of my money for the rest of our lives. That makes no sense. It doesn't. So men, you do have to play powerfully with that one. But then ladies, one of the things y'all don't want to hear is you have to play your role as a woman in a man's life. I'm sorry. A lot of you women have indeed become very masculine. Now, don't get me wrong. There's certain parts of that where I even find it attractive, AKA, like the boss bitch, the boss woman. I think there's certain traits that you have that are freaking, oh my God, I love seeing the boss woman from time to time. But it's like, okay, it's like I'm a very emotional person as a man. I'm very emotional when it comes to my wife. I want to see you every day. I want to hold you every day. I want to touch you every day. I want to cuddle with you. I want to make you feel beautiful. I want to do all these things for you. I cannot do that if you are always on the go. I cannot do that from a FaceTime message. I can only do that so much from a text message. I need you here. You know what I'm saying? The way that I look at that from the balanced perspective is like for men, it's like and once again, this is what I'm striving to be. This is why I'm working so hard right now. I want to get to the point where if I have to travel, my wife and kids come with me. That's where I want to be. And until I'm ready for that, I don't think I'm personally ready for a relationship unless the higher ups, the powers that be said, oh no, you ready. You'll grow together. You'll grow into it. Then come on in. But until then, I know I'm not ready. But that's a level of maturity that some of y'all don't have. Are you ready for a relationship? Are you ready for a marriage? Yes or no? But some of y'all need to ask yourselves this question of, do I need to slow down in the casual scene, male and female? Because once again, you're mixing all these energies, you're giving yourself distractions instead of realizing what makes me happy, from what actions can I perform right now while I'm by myself that make me happy. Instead of focusing on making yourself happy and growing yourself as an individual, you're just going out there and putting band-aids over your wounds. Just going out here giving your body to some random people. Men giving your body to hoes. Women giving your body to these thugs. It's like you're both giving the greatest gift to one another without realizing what you've given, and you're wondering why you're always emotionally and spiritually drained, because you're messing with people that don't have high vibrational energies or don't have complementary energies, which is something that you should be looking for a significant other, for a partner, someone that complements you. You know, this is something I heard. I watched so many videos, I forgot who it came from, I apologize. But they pretty much said, like, and this is kind of like where my point came from earlier, where you need to stop looking for yourself in a partner, and you need to like find someone that's compatible for you. A lot of times, you know, especially for someone like me, I'm incredibly spiritual. I'm deep into the occult. I'm looking behind the veil all the time. But I might fall in love with a woman that doesn't see that yet. You know, and with me, I have to tailor myself. I'm not here to change her. I'm not here to do this, but I can help her grow. I can help show her, well, okay, you saw this, but I saw this. What happened at the end? I saw it from a deeper perspective, and I would like you to see this. However, if you are looking at things from this level, okay, master that shit and tell me what you're seeing here, so I can like, you know, compare it to what I'm seeing up here. It's not higher or lower that I'm higher than you, I'm lower than you, because I would easily take the spot of seeing things what's going down in the physical, where she's looking at things from the emotional and spiritual realms. I'm looking at things from the physical mental realm. Therefore, we're always covered, but we connect at the mental. You see how the Venn diagram I just created matches up at the mind? Because the mind is where the maturity is, where the communication is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, marriage is dope. Marriage is awesome. You should be looking to come together, you know, into a unit, into one. 1 + 1 = 1. I've said this so many times. When you are in a marriage, it's your marriage. You guys express yourselves as you want. There's some marriages that are very touchy, you know, touchy-feely. You know, public displays of affection are crazy for them. That's what they want to do. And there's some people you'll never know that they're even married. You know, they're both quiet people. You'll find the mix where there's the introvert and the extrovert, and vice versa. You find the spiritual person and the non-spiritual person. You find the healthy person and the non-healthy person. Hey, damn, that sounds like balance to me. Wow. How about we stop trying to control our significant others, and we learn to grow with them. We learn to build one another. We stop trying to take everything from relationships, and we learn to give. If both sides are giving equally, then there's enough on the table for us to take without it being noticed. But a lot of us come into the relationship and see what you can take instead of what you can provide. Anyway, my thoughts went all over the place. I didn't even know I was talking for 20 minutes, but you know, the concept of time means nothing to me. So I hope y'all got something from this. If y'all have any difference in opinions, feel free to let me know. Once again, I'm the dude that ain't been touched in years. I haven't dated nobody in years, so my mindset's a little less tainted than some of you little hooligans out there. But anyway, to the next one, y'all. Peace.